The goal of any dashboard is to provide information that leads to an actionable outcome. And it's a very simple point, but it's a really important concept to understand. So if we take a look at what makes a good dashboard from an app perspective, let's use an example. Let's say we've got a CEO trying to understand her sales team performance across 5 different territories, and she's using an app with a dashboard breakdown of all the sales results. So the base level of information is the data. It provides the raw figures and maybe some pretty or maybe not so pretty pie charts and bar graphs to show the actual results. So for example, let's say sales team A made $2 million worth of sales for the month of October. Okay, fine. So we've got the information, but we don't have the context yet. We don't know if $2 million is good, bad, or otherwise. But a good dashboard will put that data in context by aligning it to a specific KPI. So let's say the KPI in this case was sales target at $3 million. So that means that sales team A aren't performing. Or maybe not. It's not necessarily the case because we still don't have enough context. So to better understand the performance, we need to look at the third level, and that's the trend. So the trend gives us an idea of where we've come from and where we're going. So sure, sales team A are 50% below budget, but what if the trend showed us that their sales are actually increasing by 15% a month for the past 6 months? Would you, as a CEO, get on them for not meeting their targets, or would you say, well done, keep it up, and eventually we're going to reach that point? The next step of context is comparison. So if you looked at the sales team A in isolation, you'd say they're not performing because they're 50% below their KPI. But what if the other 4 teams are 60% below their KPI? What if team A is actually your best performer? So maybe there's some other external factors like an economic downturn or something else that's affecting things, and you actually need to take a look at your KPIs, not your sales teams. At the very top of this pyramid is the most important function, and that's action. So the 4 we've talked about already, the data, the KPI, the trend, and the comparison, need to prompt the CEO in this case to take an action of some sort. So that action may be to review their KPIs because they're not realistic, or maybe it's to performance manage team A, or maybe the others, or perhaps add more resources to team A, whatever it might be, but they need to take an action from that data, KPI, trend, and comparison. So the takeaway here is that a good dashboard reduces the cognitive load or mental effort of getting from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid, and it makes it as quick and easy as possible for the end user to take an action on the information they have at hand.